We are at the ending of the third book of the Torah, Vayikra, better known as Leviticus, or also the Kohenim HaSefer, the book of the priests. And we are ending with two parashot, Behar and Bechukotai. Behar means in the mountain, and Bechukotai means the statues that our Creator has given in our statues. These two portions, they are small but are very, I would call it heavy teaching that we can get from here. The first one, Behar, the first portion, one of the things that I constantly repeat is that the Torah is not chronological. Sometimes we impose chronology instead to look at the teaching that the Torah is giving to us. You know, the whole Torah was built through different scrolls, and those scrolls were being put together. And sometimes I imagine that Moshe Rabbeinu putting these scrolls together, he was looking also at the different themes, subjects that they were dealing with, and putting. Sometimes there were scrolls that were at the end, and instead to throw them or put in someplace else, they will add it. And this is the reason why chapter 25 and 26 looks like that's the ending of the book of Vayikra, and then suddenly comes chapter 27, where many people and many scholars, many rabbis, they call it like it is an addendum, and that needed to be in another part of the book, especially in Shemot, when they're talking about the vows. But saying that, to me, what is important, as many times I have repeated myself, is that it is important that we study the Torah to learn what the Torah is teaching us, what are the principles that are given to us, instead to be locked on the form. You know, forms are good sometimes to give us the liturgy and to help us to worship God. But when we are locked only to the form, I call it only to liturgy, sometimes we miss the most important part, what the Creator is giving to us, is transmitting to us. I have told you many times that our Creator give to us what I call a divine revelation. How the divine revelation works is through giving His word, and then each one of us will read it, and we have the opportunity to receive the message from the Creator. And many words sometimes go directly to us as a person, and we can apply to our lives. That means not necessarily that when we receive something like that, it's for everybody, but it's talking to us directly. And when it's talking to us directly, it's like a little light that we have inside us that's telling us God is talking to us, the Creator is talking to us, blessed be His name. Well, I have also told you before about the problem of theologizing. You know, theology is really like a science, it's like a philosophy, and was created in the Gentile world, and basically is to try to explain what the Creator plans are or how He functions, and to try to give an understanding that how the Creator is. This is a very, to say, a stuck-up action of the humans. Who can explain the Creator? You know, we are His creation, you know, and we are trying to explain who He is. And this is a problem, because we got ourselves in boxes, and we get ourselves in situations, and then we define dogmas and doctrines that then later on we cannot get out of them. And because we understand words in our own way. How many times I have been telling you that most of us, especially outside the understanding of the Word of God, we already bring a prior understanding about certain things. We have heard, somebody told us, somebody gave us, and these ideas become very deep in our brains. You know, we are like we're brainwashed in certain way. We are taught this is the way. And then when we read the Word of God, we read it according to what somebody else has defined it for us. And sometimes we don't even realize that we are doing that because it's so deep in us that this is the way that we understand. And it's very difficult. I told to you before also about the paradigm shift, to change ideas because we have been receiving over and over again the same understanding. Our Creator not only speaks to 4,000 years ago, our Creator is alive, speaking to us through His Torah. And then we need to learn to apply the Torah for our days today. And we need to understand His words, not for 4,000 years ago, but for us today. You know, I was talking to somebody about the word ebed, you know, that is used. The word ebed is translated as a slave or as a servant. You know, and with Israel, the Creator is going to use that word. You know, and I was thinking, what would be a modern way to understand the word ebed? Because the word slave has a totally, a really very bad connotation. And to say servant sometimes brings to us a very low connotation. You know, and then I was thinking, if the Creator is the CEO of this universe, you know, and He has called us to be part of His universe, and He employed us to serve Him, you know, will be like His employment. And we'll take a little bit a different view because there are, when you are employed by your boss or whatever, you know, you can be a good employment or a bad employee. You can be a good employee or a bad employee, you know, but you are part of this company. And then the Creator, as the CEO, check us and see us who are doing well and who are doing bad. Even though we are working together or supposedly we are under the same company, not all of us are the same. Not all of us work as diligent like the other. Not all of us we take as serious our job. Then, another understanding is when you have a good boss, you know, you want to take advantage of the good boss, or you want to be grateful that you have such a good boss that you want to do your best. There are all different levels in this area. In the first portion of the first parasha, Behar, the one before the last one, is talking about in the mountain, and who is telling us that is totally outside the chronology of this book, you know, because they already are receiving the news or the revelation from the Creator, from the Mishkan. Then it was before the inauguration of the Mishkan. And here we want to see that the Creator is telling the people of Israel that the Shabbat is very important. And not only the Shabbat for us, but the Shabbat for the land and the Shabbat for the cycle of life. You know, we have said many times that a generation is considered 40 years. Here we have a jubilee the 49 years plus one, the 50 years. And there is a new engagement with the Creator and a new beginning. Every 7 years, the land is recovered, has a time of resting, and then begins again. And this, we saw that last week about the cycles of the Creator once through the time. And the time in the scriptures is not linear, it is circular. And it is so they're going up and up. And this is the reason that sometimes you go back to a situation that you were already before. The only difference is that you are in higher level or can you be in lower level, depending what is your dedication to the Creator. No? And then it's going to talk about the rest for the land, because it's good for everybody, including how to treat our foreigners in our land, and to be humane in every way that we can be with animals, with the land. We are foreigners, telling us that we are responsible how we treat others and how we treat ourselves also. Then immediately we're going to pass to chapter 26. And we start this Behar-Bechukotai on verse 3, but really you read verses 1 and 2. It's going to give an indication about that the Creator is going to talk to you that faithfulness about Him and dedication to Him and the Shabbat. Again, he's going to mention the Shabbat, and immediately takes and say, you shall, the Lord spoke to Moses and say to him, you need to, those who keep my statutes and the things, and he's going to speak what in Judaism we call it the toheha, the warnings or admonitions. And we're going to see a series of admonitions. First of all, interestingly enough, we see 11 blessings, and then there are going to be 33 curses, if you want to call in that way. So there are three times more curses than blessings. If you look and why? Because when you're doing something well, it's natural that the things are going to come easy. You're going to be doing well. What the Creator also wants for you is to be sure that there are going to be consequences, when you get away from His word, from His commandments. In Spanish, we have a saying that says, el que la hace, la paga. I don't know, in English, I need to try to translate the same thing, but I could say, for example, who live by the sword will die by the sword. Something like that. Maybe there's a better way to translate it, but in other words, you cannot complain about your situation many times if you have not been faithful to God. There are consequences. No. He looks like that the Creator is the reason of His existence is to make your life miserable. The only thing that he's happy is when He can point to you with a finger and tell you, bad boy, bad girl, and you are punished. You're going to suffer. And I always say, we need to look our Heavenly Father more as a father and a mother than a dictator or a judgmental thing, because parents want the best for the children. And even when the children are not doing right, they're trying to protect them. They're trying to help them because they love them. At the end, in chapter 26, we are going to see that the Lord, after He has spelled out all the things, and if we can read from the last verses, from 42, I imagine, 26, 42, 20, chapter 26. Patient, I don't know if you have it there. No.
I do. 42.
Yeah.
I shall remember my covenant.
Can you show me the?
Oh, yes. Hold on. I have to
share. That way we are all in the same page.
Yeah, I have to share the screen. Hold on. Okay. You see it?
Yeah.
I shall remember.
Let's start from 40.
40?
Yeah.
Then they shall admit their guilt, and that.
This is a Catholic. I don't like this, but
I have the other one too, the Hebrew one.
Yeah. Okay.
26, 40. And they shall confess their iniquity
exactly
and the iniquity of their fathers.
Yeah. There is the difference between the word confess and admit. Okay. But can you move it a little more to your left?
What do you mean?
Because the pictures, they don't allow to read the whole. It's too big.
It's too big? Okay.
And you cannot read it. Thank you.
Is that better? Okay, I can't see what you can see on your screen. Okay, and they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers in their treachery which they committed against me, and also that they have walked contrary to me. I will also walk contrary to them and bring them into the land of their enemies. And then by chance, if their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then be paid the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Then I will remember my covenant with Jacob and also my covenant with Isaac. And my covenant with Abraham. I remember that I will remember the land. All these passages, they talk about they are prophetics. The word prophetics, there are many of them have been fulfilled during the history of Israel, and they are even repeating. As you remember, the ellipsoid going up and up, we are repetitions of certain things. Israel right now is going through a very hard times. And the hard times of Israel is because even that right now they are in the land, it's very obvious that Israel is away from the Creator. I mentioned last week, and one of the reasons is because of the religious people are making more difficult for any secular man or woman to follow the Creator, because the rules and regulations that they put, how much they literally oppress the other people with their rules and regulations that make them believe that the Creator, the only thing that they want from them is the blood. You know, they want to, more unhappy you are, closer to God you are. This is a totally wrong idea.
Catholic.
Okay. You flagellate, you need to destroy yourself, you need to pour of me, and you cannot have any kind of joy. You cannot have any kind of happiness, because that's only sinners has a happy life. We have inherited those ideas. Restriction, putting this, don't do that. So many things that are more than what the Creator is asking us to do. And also, He has given us, as mentioned to you before, a free will. He has given us the capability to think for ourselves and to analyze ourselves and be ourselves, our best judges. Are we doing right or are we doing wrong? And you have a relationship with the Creator, comes easier to see the areas that you are failing. The problem is when you go to the two extremes, there is the extreme of the totally secular, or I call it agnostic or atheist, or to the other extreme, totally super religious person. They both extremes, they are not any longer following the Creator. They are following themselves with their own action. One thinking that because he is so pure and so close to God, then they don't need God anymore because they themselves, God is happy to have them. From the other side, the super seculars or agnostics or atheists, they say, who needs God? God cannot do anything for me. You know, I'm going to live my life in any way they want. And both sides are the problem. But the great majority is in the middle. And this is the one that we have the hopes to continue. Because we still have this understanding about what the Creator is calling us decency, moral, being moral, to respect life, to respect others. Because you cannot respect life, you cannot respect others, you don't respect yourself, and you don't respect the Creator. You know, we use the word love, and it's such a, I call it honeydew word, you know? And we use for everything love, 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 and sounds so beautiful for certain people. But let me tell you, that word is so misused and abused because it's not understood in the sense that the Creator has given to us. Love means being loyal. Love means to be responsible. Love means to be the right person that you need to be. If you are not who you need to be, you are a fake. And when you are a fake, you cannot be yourself. We need to learn to be ourselves. We are qualities and we are limitations. The Creator is telling us those things that we don't need to do. How we can apply it for today. He starts with idolatry. And you know, it is amazing how today we're so full of idolatry and we don't even see it. Because idolatry has become more, I would say, more in the ethereal areas. You know, it is, you know, it's hidden from our sight because we don't see it, but it's within us. And you can ask yourself, no, I am not an idolater. Think about this. What it means idolatry. Idolatry and adultery go hand by hand. What it means when I say go hand by hand? Because you are replacing the truth for something else that maybe you make it or somebody told you and you accept it. And you think that you have God, but the only thing that you have is yourself and your pride, that you're right. More religious you are, more full of yourself you are. And when you start thinking that you're doing right and the others are doing wrong, you start feeling yourself of pride. You're like a balloon that starts floating on the air and looking everybody down. When the truth of the matter is just the opposite. I mentioned to you last week, closer you are with God, humbler you become. Because you realize who you really are. And you can never, ever be God. But then, when you humble yourself, you have the opportunity to look within you and start growing again. You know, search me, O God, and look within me. Look inside me. And show me what are the areas that I am failing to you. And then, when I see them, I will not do it anymore in order that I can have again a relationship with you. Psalm 139, verses 23 and 24. Search me, O God. Look within me. Here, the tochecha, the admonitions, the warnings that the Creator is giving to us is, look at these areas, you need to check yourself. Look at if you are doing it or no. Or look at if you are falling apart. Are you getting away from me, or you think you are close to me? What do you think? Because your best judge about yourself is yourself. If you walk closer to him, blessed be his name, you are going to see things that you didn't see before. But if you are stuck up, if you think you are better than anybody else, you are semi-perfect or almost totally perfect, and you are not like them, the sinners. Totally the contrary. I am holy. Because God asked me to be holy like I am holy like him. And I start feeling myself, like I say, like a balloon. Why at the end of this book, Vayikra, that is specifically about holiness? Why the Creator give us this like a bad news? Oh, it sounds so hard. And we see the consequences of that we are going to go through. Because he wants to say to us, I have chosen you, but not because who you are, not because how wonderful you are, or how smart you are, or how holy you are. I have chosen you in spite of yourself, in order that you come back to me and we are going to do wonderful things. I'm going to be your employer. You are going to be working for me. And I have this wonderful institution or company. It's called Israel. And Israel is going to be an example to the rest of humanity. And Israel is going to be light to others. Israel is going to show them how we are going to work together. And you, because you are my employees, and because you are working for me, I'm going to demand more on you than anybody else. And then when you go out, and because you represent me, your behavior is going to influence on my message. We don't see that. What do you think right now, Israel, the modern Israel, Medina Israel, has such a poor message, even that they are trying to do such a good job to everyone. Of course, everybody hates Israel. We can say, we can spiritualize. But let me ask you this question. Is today Israel being an example to the other nations? Because if you read carefully in this chapter 26, on Leviticus. He said, I'm going to take you out of the land. I'm going to send you as a foreigner. You're going to be expelled from the land. Israelis just come back. But what we don't realize is we don't need to take this literal. We need to take it as the message that is given to us. And the message here is this. Israel, even that right now is in the land, they are foreigners. They are like exiles. Because what they are trying to do, they, instead of trying to be an example, they want to imitate the other nations and to be like the other nations. And they want to be accepted by the other nations. Instead, to be themselves. And even sometimes they are ashamed to call themselves Jews or Israelis. I have friends, beautifully, let me tell you, Israelis, who has told me that they don't want to be called Israelis or Jews. And sometimes when people ask them, they don't want to tell them who they are. They're ashamed. What is telling you here on the message? Because you are not happy with who you are. You are not settled in the reality of yourself, and you want to be somebody else. And you become a fake. All of us, we have a calling. Each one has a responsibility. And we want to do our best in our responsibility in our calling. But are you trying to be somebody else, that who you are not? The only thing that you are doing is performing. And you become outside the calling of God. You know what it means to send you to exile? To me, in the modern times, what it means is that you are totally confused about who you are, that you do not know who you are, that you have been literally taken out of the people of Israel because you want to be somebody else. And because you cannot fit any side, you are going to be in the wilderness completely alone because you're not there and you're not here. Are you or are you not? Now, here at the end of this, in chapter 26, the Creator says, doesn't matter what they do, I have given my word. And then that is repeating with Yeshayahu, with Jeremiah, and with Ezekiel, Yehakiel, is repeating the same message. And the message is this: I am faithful to Israel, even if they are not faithful to me. The Creator has not abandoned Israel. And he said, if you return, if you confess, if you do teshuvah, I receive you back. Now, do you know that Israel is not formed only by pure land or pure blood, as many people think? When Abraham Avinu left following the Creator, he was not an Israeli. He was a Gentile. He was a Goy. And all the people that he had with him were part of this calling. Well, no, Abraham represents the whole group that he left. And there was no one there that was Israeli or Jew. All of them were Gentiles, including Sarah. In case that some people say that Sarah, our mother. Then comes the second generation. That is Isaac. And Isaac brings another Goy as a, for be the mother of Israel. Who is it? Rachel, Goya. No Goy, Goya.
Rebecca.
Rebecca. I always confuse these two. Rivka. Sorry, Rivka. They got together. Another thing, you have Jacob. Again, Mary and Goya. Not one, not two, four. Man, he has a big heart. You know? And all of them, Goyim, or Goyot, is the term. No? Then, after that, but he has also group. There were group of people. They were not, many people when they read the scripture, they think Jacob was alone, only he and his four wives. No, he has a lot of workers around him. All of them were part of that future Israel. And even then later on, when we see in Shemot, in Pesach, when they are coming out, comes this word, Erev Rab, the mixed multitude. You know, from the beginning, Israel has been mixed. There has people that we call it by blood and people by calling. And they're all from Israel. Today is the same. That cannot change. And we keep listening the word of God calling us. But what he said is, do not be an idolater. And put in the top about the Shabbats. Because idolater is the one that changed the nature of the Creator for a similar thing. And leave the Creator and follow his own creation. And believe me or not, most of the religions have created their own gods. They tell you that they believe in the true God. But if you start examining them, they're going to say, yes, but if. I mean, if you don't go through their if, you won't find the true God. And you dare to say that your God, the one that you have believed in, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the only true God that has revealed to humanity, and you do not agree with some of their if, you are a heretic. And because you are a heretic, you don't have God. And you go to damnation. And they are the only ones that are going to take you to heaven. And where in the scripture say that men take you to heaven? They take you to damnation, but take you to heaven. The only one that can take you to the presence of God is the Creator himself, blessed be him. This is the reason that we are saturated at this time in the 21st century. We are saturated with philosophies, with theologies, with isms all over the world. And everybody is going to give you a description of the true God. Instead, to humble ourselves before him and to accept that we are limited in how much we can know about him. And first of all, we need to learn about knowing ourselves and coming back to him. And when you humble yourself and you go to him, you will be surprised that he's going to give you the words of wisdom that you need to learn for you at the time. I say to you that because I am finished this book of Vayikra, I need to tell you this. Sometimes we are almost fanatics with forms, and we forget the most important part about the living with him. We are more tied to how to do it instead what it means to me today, the blessings of God and the teachings of God. How do I apply the teachings? It is the robe, is the what I would call it, the dress that we wear, or is what is inside in our hearts. But I make it. Here say, and in this portion, we say, when they circumcise their hearts, they take the skin over their hearts. And it's talking about that it's time that the Creator continually see our hearts. You know, do you remember the 4 points that I have been giving to you through the years? Emunah, faith. Bitachon, trust. You can have faith, but if your faith is not put on action, doesn't work. Many people believe. It's very easy to believe. It's to trust, to put in action. Bitachon. When you trust in God, God reveals to you, gives to you what we call it, the heart. And what is the heart? The free will. You know? And when you have free will, no, give you responsibility. The Behirah of Shear, the free will, what it give you in free will? He give you responsibility. Acharayut, responsibility. And that responsibility only can be practiced when you have herut. What is herut? Freedom. And once you have done your work, you're an employee for the Creator. He's our CEO. And then how we are, this is the part. You know, at the end of the year, all the employees are evaluated. A year evaluation. We have our Yom HaKippurim. We are evaluated. You know? And what happened with our evaluation? He comes and check. What is he going to check? The last part of the line that I have given to you.
Kavanah.
Kavanah. What is intention? And all of us, we are judged by intentions. You know, I love when our great Rabbi, Yashuv, when he talks to us exactly about that. When he say, he's not judged, but what you eat. Don't worry, it's about what comes out of your mouth. You know, I love it, that picture, because what comes out of your mouth comes from your mouth, from your heart. That's the real you. And the intention is, you are not judged by only doing, it's what is your intentions. That's more sophisticated. Because you hold hate in your heart. And even that you don't act upon that hate, you already are the detrimental to yourself, to your health. And I don't want to go run away from what I want to say, but just came to me something that's very important, and I would like to put it together. Because the Creator wants us to be faithful to Him, not to be idolaters, not to be a failure, not to be somebody else, only to be ourselves. I have been telling you this, but here is what happened when you do not clean yourself from inside. One of the areas that many of us will have is still holding something against somebody else. You know, why Lashon Hara is so destructive? Because it goes against the likeness and image of God when we talk about somebody. But here is something that I would like to make you think and check. When you hold something and you hold, for example, somebody has done wrong to you and you cannot forgive that person. The only thing that you say is, I don't want to think about this person, I don't want to, or somebody has done wrong and you say, this is the end for that person, he's dead to me. Who is the person who is holding back the blessings? You. It's ourselves. And it's demonstrated physiologically and physically and emotionally, mentally, everything. The people who hold something against somebody else, they get deteriorated, their physical life get deteriorated. You get bad, and even you get sickness. You get sick. When you are able to throw everything out, and you are able to forgive, the one that you are helping more is yourself. Because you are becoming free of something that was holding you back. This is what the Creator said. There is nothing in this life that can take precedence over me, say the Lord. No a person, no an idea, no a religion, nothing. And our God is a jealous God. He wants us full. He doesn't want only one part of us. When we are His, we are totally His. No half of me is His, and the other half belongs to somebody else. He is all or nothing. And He's always bringing us and asking us to come back. And this portion, Bechukotai, at the end, the admonition, the Tocheha, means be careful, because the only one that hurts is yourself when you are away from me. To be in the right relationship with Him is when we are right, and that's decent. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Have a wonderful Shabbat.